distressed. Seek information only from trusted sources and take practical steps to prepare your plans and protect yourself and loved ones. Need help and support? Please contact us at the hotline 311 Psychosocial Support at 722-6575 or 518-4157. Brought to you by PAHO, the OACS Commission, and UNICEF.
I can't stay.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. It is Monday, June 14th, 2021. As always, it is an absolute pleasure being here with you. Today, I hope that you guys had an okay weekend. I hope you enjoyed it. But as always, we want to thank you for joining us. If you're listening to us on our radio partner station, that is Hits FM, 92.1 and 91.1. Also, if you are watching us on the different social media platforms where we are streaming at this moment, I think on a couple of them like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, you know the deal. I've said every day and I still keep forgetting some of them. And of course, if you're watching us on television, on channel 124 on Flow, then we appreciate it and it's good to be back with you. Today, no, but you know me already. So because I like to kick off, yes, on people and their dancing, and I know we looked at some of the candidates and what they dance like, because I think, you know, the way anyone dances, it's a good measure of, you know, of a man, so I'm told, I don't know. So I think we're going to add some more. So every weekend, you know the thing already, people out campaigning clearly, different activities are going, and people, you know, people hear music and they want to dance. Let's take a look at what that looks like for some of the people, because we're adding more to the list. Let's take a look. Maybe we'll have to have a vote. I don't know. That was London doing the arms flailing thing. Let's look at the other one.
Big up hero, big up king. You know that we can vote.
And now, over the weekend, I saw another person break it down. We see breaking it down. Let's take a look. So we're going to continue adding, because my luck have been shown. Munkaida say, I'm going to look out for it. I'll show it to you. We'll have to have our vote. We'll catch our kicks when you're ready. And that's what I was doing over the weekend. But you know, on to more serious matters. We left on Friday with things to, you know, ruminate over, to think about, and I think with the Pajora letter and just how crazy and blatantly corrupt it was, I ask that we all remember that as we go on into the weekend. But because of that, and I also wondered, what could there possibly be? What would the defense be? Please, you can even mopek, you can even nettoyer, you can even oh, that's not what he meant, that's the thing. Or you know, it's fake. I said that's a lazy response, but that's what we've gotten a lot of. And of course, there has been a response. But before we get into that, let us remember, let us keep that in our minds, that there is a minister who has taken it upon himself to just disregard all forms, all ways of good governance, to go against the country's laws and just decide to sign a letter for a business that only has $1,000 in capital and make sure that, tell everybody, you know, just give them $62 million US because I said so in the name of St. Lucia. So yeah, we're going to go back into that.
So, proof of payment, then you enter into contractual agreement with the company. The government is also committed to repaying the loan of the 62 million once the projects are successfully completed. So if there's no project,
so that gets the money and completes the project,
then you are committed to pay.
That letter was sent to the bank to replace all the lights, 21,500 of these high energy lights. So wait and see, just wait and see who will get the contract to replace the lights in the country. The contract will be given to a friend, to family.
Amount of stated capital, $1,000. $1,000. But they are given a letter. They are given a letter to raise $167 million. Bertram Johannes, the brother of David Johannes, Mark Johannes, who's the registered director of Pajora Limited, is Guy's right-hand man. If I lie, say I lie. 167 million given to company. Company, Davis Max Johannes, Kenan Johannes. Davis Max is brother to Bertram Johannes. Bertram Johannes is Guy's right-hand man who gives all the CDP contracts in Castries South and Castries South East. Connect the dots.
I cannot verify where this letter came from. It bears my signature, as I see, of a picture of something on the internet. There's so much happening.
When I spoke to the minister, he's indicated that there's no letter that he has in his office with his signature that pertains to that.
Mr. Speaker, I am going to say again, I signed Pajora letter. I am going to say again, I signed Pajora letter. I signed Pajora letter, but I didn't sign for a vehicle that was belonging to the state. I signed Pajora letter.
I'm a bit complex because that's where we were going, and the source of the amount that we're paying for the project, which is a 5-year moratorium, 15 years to repay, plus a 3.5% or 1.5% plus LIBOR. That's very difficult terms for anybody to be able to compete with.
What about the other issue that if this is not was not signed by the minister? I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but just in case it was not signed by the minister, aren't you concerned that this could be a serious breach of national security? This is somebody has fraudulently signed the minister's name on a document.
Won't be the first.
Let us show the letter Pajora wrote to the Trinidadian agent. Good. Mr. Hazley Wong, Trinidad. You see, hold on. Pajora's Limited. Mr. Maximus, what's his name? Maximilus Juarez. Okay. Telephone number. Dear Mr. Wong, kindly use this letter as confirmation from Pajora's Limited in appointing you as our resource representative to source funding for the government of St. Lucia, yes, you heard right, to source funding for the government of St. Lucia for the following projects costing 62 million United States dollars. 1, St. Jude Hospital, and 2, street lighting. We take this opportunity to thank you for your assistance and wish you every success in your future endeavors. Signed, Maximilus Johannes. So Pajora, folks, is using the same letter that Guy said was circulated in the media and attempted to disassociate himself with. Pajora is using it to try and get the $62 million. Metansa, when the bank responded to the request for the $62 million by Pajora, rather than responding to Pajora, guess who they responded to directly? No, not me. My name is not Guy Joseph. The bank responded directly to Guy Joseph. The same Guy Joseph who said he saw the letter circulated in the media. I lie? I lie? Let me show you the response from the bank that was emailed to Guy Joseph. It was sent from Answer Merchant Bank of Trinidad and Tobago to no other than the Honorable Guy Joseph. Put the bank's email response to Guy Joseph for me, please. Answer Merchant Bank. The Honorable February last year, the Honorable Guy Joseph, the same Guy Joseph who said he saw the letter circulated in the media. The Honorable Guy Joseph, Minister for Economic Development, Housing, Urban Renewal, Transport and Civil Aviation, Finance Administrative Center, Point Seraphine Castries. Dear Honorable Minister Joseph, Pajora's Limited. Oui, mama. The same Pajora letter Guy did not know anything about. Answer Merchant Bank Limited is pleased to confirm its ability and willingness to assist our client, Pajora Limited, with financing to meet its funding needs associated with the LED street lighting project in St. Lucia. Whoa, yo. We confirm that we are currently undergoing the evaluation process, which is at an advanced stage with a due view to providing a risk-approved financing offer. Please note that this letter does not constitute a binding offer of financing, and it is issued in the strictest of confidence. Pale Richard Frederick Oliwa. Trigger of confidence, Egmo Viva. For discussion purposes only. A binding commitment to provide financing is subject to the completion of negotiations regarding the terms and conditions of the financing package as well as the due diligence on the project. Please do not hesitate to contact the undersigned. Gregory Hill, Managing Director of Answer Merchant Bank Limited, written directly to Guy Joseph. But first, when you want to talk about bombshell, come and visit me. Directly to Guy Joseph. I now want to hear the excuses. Because he answered neither here nor there. He saw it circulated in the media. And Pajora has a letter appointing a third party to source money on behalf of the government of this country. And the bank writes directly to Guy Joseph.
When I listen to Richard Frederick, telling Bofest, man, an open invitation. After that kind of whining you're giving there, you sure you want to tell a man, if he wants a bombshell, come and check you? But listen, we have had that discussion already, And I think it's all laid out in clear terms how wrong this is and on how many different levels. And now you've seen it change from Guy Joseph saying, you know, what letter, and this is from the internet, and it's a supposed letter with his signature, and he never gave any sort of definitive answer to any of the questions. And then later on he admits it, and then the Prime Minister saying that he trusts his minister, and even if it's forged, you know, forgery is nothing within the government. It's nothing. It happens all the time, says the Prime Minister. And now we're seeing there is hard evidence there that the letter was signed, and the repercussions of it, where a bank now is writing directly to the same Guy Joseph Kidi, Pati Machianye, and saying that you're going to be giving $62 million to Pajora, a company that is owned by the Johannes and the brothers and everything else. So, of course, it's blatant corruption. It is right there. And I put in Mame Globush Mepudi, and I don't think anyone should, when in this country we're seeing so much of what has to happen. Real businessmen who have to, and businesswomen who have to deal with all the risks of COVID and not opening and everything else that you have to worry about. But when you have a company and you have Baka so much that a minister who's not the Prime Minister, not Minister of Finance, can just sign our money, our name, St. Lucian's, and say, you know what, if you have it, just give them the money to put street lights. So I think it's right there for all of us to understand. But some people will pretend at least to be ignorant of all of what has been said there, all of what is being explained. And I hate to do it, and I hate to say it sometimes. May Song Nancy will come up once again and do what she does best in that party. I figure somebody would have to say something. I thought they would have been creative, but this one, just saying, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's really spitting in our face. Spitting in our face and insulting our intelligence. But hear for yourself what Nancy has to say about everything.
All I'm saying is, I think supporters and members of the St. Lucia Labour Party need to stop just throwing mud and just saying a word and saying something and not giving you substance to substantiate what they are saying. So they just sully people's names. They just call out your name and say, Nancy is a thief. What is it that I stole? They cannot tell you, they cannot explain, etc. This one is a liar, this one, this, and they cannot tell you what. What is it that is the Pajora? And they just say Pajora letter, and everybody like, Pajora letter, and I keep asking, what is it? And nobody can tell me. So let's talk about Pajora letter. Based on all the letters I've seen, Pajora letters written by, to whom, from whom, what is wrong? What is it? What is the corruption? What is it wrong in the letter that is written? So that the public of St. Lucia can say, oh my God, that's wrong, that's illegal, that's corrupt. What is it in the letter that is written? Those Pajora letters, I see how many letters all over the place. Somebody sent me a message, a Labour Party person, and said, bombshell. And I said to them, okay, explain to me what's the bombshell. Somebody needs to explain to me or to the public these Pajora letters that are floating, what is wrong with the letter. What is wrong? What is it that is illegal? What is it that breaks any laws, anything, any norms as well in the letter? Because, Timothy, you and I both know these are standard letters that are written for potential investors, for investors. It's like a reference letter, Timothy. You come to me, you want to go to the bank to get a loan for $10,000. I know you well. I know you are a good businessman. I can write a letter to say that I am going to go into business with you. And so if you can provide funding to Timothy, I would be grateful to provide that. So I would be grateful, etc. and so forth.
Well, let's put it this way, Mr. Charles. I don't want to discuss this Pajora letter issue because I cannot vouch for the veracity of the contents of the letter, and also I would like to be better informed and also speak to the various players on it. So if you have the various players, there are people the allegations are being made against, you have them, you discuss it, you interrogate them on it. But just to flippantly discuss the issue, I don't think I'll go anywhere with that. No. You just heard the Director of Implementation in the Office of the Prime Minister, Mrs. Nancy Chow.
Sila pan situez la pan vole. So situez la kabini now. to come. You've heard her, but I was thinking, you know, should I really have to explain this to Nancy? I mean, Nancy is the one, and you know that I've spoken, but someone who clearly doesn't understand corruption, or she pretends not to. Someone who signed a check for $500,000 to be taken out of the Beaufort North Constituency Council the day before elections, last elections in 2016. Someone like that. Someone who will lie via email and use the CMO's name to do that when the sanctions could have been heavy on us from World Health Organization. Nancy, Mantle, I'd have time to explain to you what we both know to be completely wrong and corrupt. But I will give you some points for the continued shamelessness. At time, someone told me they are bereft of shame. You are bereft of shame. And there is, like, you know, I feel like, what is the point of actually going and responding directly to Nancy? I'm speaking for right-thinking St. Lucians who know what is right and wrong. You clearly do not care. You have to do what you have to do to make your party win. You have to stay in directive implementation, even when you sit down there doing nothing and you're getting paid. I understand what you're doing. But for the rest of us who do care about this country and who do love this country, we know it's wrong. Egmemsi, yes, I'm waiting for Guy Joseph and what he's going to be saying on that, and I expect the media workers, journalists will also be clamoring to get some kind of response to that. So I dismissing what you're saying, that ain't making no sense. I got a ball out by buffet. I don't have time. But I think for the rest of us too, when you have to look at what should be done there in a real country that cares about good governance, somebody would have been fired, there would have been a resignation. You need to be, you know, you need to show that there is punishment for the kind of things that we're seeing here. But of course, we're going to pretend that it doesn't happen. I can almost expect what's going to happen. Probably the Prime Minister will call Out Goes In or whatever other friendly show there is and just continue to, I don't know, protect the people around him as we've seen him do countless times. But when we should also listen to a former Prime Minister who, even within their camp, that's what I know, still within their camp, will at least knows that this is wrong. So let's hear what Stephenson King has to say about the Pajora letter.
It's very clear that only the minister responsible for finance can give such guarantees. So as to whether the letter is authentic and that the minister chose to give that kind of guarantee, it can be considered as being irresponsible.
So we asked the former Prime Minister what should be done with a minister who is, like he said, irresponsible.
Every minister who steps out of line and contravenes the ministerial code as to how do you operate as a government minister and as a member of cabinet, then it is the responsibility of the Prime Minister to reprimand or to take the necessary measures to address the situation, because no Prime Minister ought to be operating a cabinet in which ministers can do anything outside of their own purview and outside of the framework of the law.
Mr. Joseph, was the letter signed by you, Mr. Joseph? Mr. Joseph, you're not going to give us an interview?
I don't know. So this is where we are. And for me, and for some people are saying, you know, why are we talking about that again? As if, like, you know, you're talking about the same topics. So, and the other hacks under the, in the comments, we will continue to speak about it. This cannot be left without some discussion, without some sort of accountability. And I feel sorry for the other business people. How many of us would want a reference letter, as Nancy put it, and just say, Guy Joseph that sent me, and bring to the bank and say, give me $1 million, Guy that sent me. I only have $50 in the bank and I don't, like, you know, I have shown no success in my business, but just give me that money. You know, that you call a reference letter, Nancy. Now, I try and, as if, my grandmother said, but I think, really, it continues to insult the actual people who are taking risks, who are making sacrifices, who continue to try their hardest all throughout COVID and even before that, for you to come now to people. And I'm waiting for Guy Joseph, I'm waiting for the Prime Minister to hear what they have to say. And as for that, no, we will not stop speaking about it. And I think that's what they want, you know, so this can just blow over and everybody can forget. But I believe that with everything going on and all of what people are suffering from, the empty pans and not being able to eat or send their children to school or even paying their bills, and this is happening, the millionaires continue to just take and take and take our money and use our name to make their money too. It's wrong, and we will continue to speak about it.
In a new twist in the infamous Pajora letter scandal, NBC Prime has obtained correspondence from a Trinidad banking executive addressed to the Economic Development Minister indicating their willingness to fund a proposed LED street lighting project in St. Lucia. The Pajora letter dated November 12, 2018 and signed by the Economic Development Minister surfaced in 2019. The letter claims the Shasney administration will commit to repaying more than 160 million EC dollars to Pajora, a locally based lighting company, for the installation of LED lights on Lucilec poles. The recently uncovered correspondence from the Trinidad banker appears to contradict the minister's repeated denials.
In 2016, the previous Labour Party administration struck a multi-million-dollar deal with the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, to overhaul St. Lucia's outmoded streetlights with a more climate-friendly alternative. Over 21,000 high-pressure sodium and mercury vapor streetlights have been earmarked for LED replacement to the tune of EC $25.6 million. Based on that initial CDB arrangement, the government and Lucilec would have jointly invested about $3 million to the LED street lighting project. By 2018, the incumbent Shasney administration pulled the plug on the deal with the CDB. And in 2019, a new controversial arrangement was uncovered.
I didn't see anybody authorize anything. I do know that we have a company out of the UK that's going to be doing the LED lights with us, which will include cameras.
The Pajora paper trail dates back to 2018. Although repeatedly disputed by the government, a letter dated November 12, 2018 and signed by the Economic Development Minister to Pajora, a St. Lucian lighting company, suggests the Shasney administration agreed to enter into a contractual arrangement with the company valued at EC $162 million.
I cannot verify where this letter came from. It bears my signature, as I see, of a picture of something on the internet.
There's a lot wrong with this Pajora letter.
Pajora would leverage the November letter from the Economic Development Minister to secure loan funding for the project. Answer Merchant Bank, based out of Trinidad and Tobago, was one of the lenders approached by Pajora. In a letter dated February 18, 2020, Answer Bank manager Gregory Hill wrote Minister Joseph, informing him of the bank's willingness to finance Pajora. Hill also disclosed Answer's evaluation process was at an advanced stage and was close to making a risk-approved financing offer to Pajora. Evarista Jean-Marie, an economist and a former deputy mayor of Castries under the previous Labour government, is convinced the now infamous Pajora letter contravenes the government's established financial procedures.
The issue is not about choosing who should finance the project, you know. The issue is one of procedure. A government, in fact, it is very specific in the letter that the government is committed. Guy Joseph is not the government of St. Lucia, nor is the Prime Minister the government of St. Lucia. That agreement can only have validity if it's placed before the Parliament under the Finance Act and agreed by the Parliament. To say so is an untruth, and you're placing the country in a state of disrepute, because you're making, as a minister of government, you're making statements, placing in the public domain that are untrue. That's the seriousness of this, and you open yourself to all sort of dubious characters engaged in trying to secure funding for the government of St. Lucia.
Fallout from the Pajora letter scandal also came from Minister Joseph's cabinet colleague. Infrastructure Minister and former Prime Minister Stephenson King.
It is the responsibility of the Prime Minister to reprimand or to take the necessary measures to address the situation, because no Prime Minister ought to be operating a cabinet in which ministers can do anything outside of their own purview and outside of the framework of the law.
Evariste Jean-Marie has gone a step further. He believes the appropriate action should be Guy Joseph's resignation from the Chasney cabinet.
You can't legislate for people's behavior, but you could legislate for people to be penalized when they break rules. And in a particular case where, I mean, he could write whatever he wishes to write, but when he departs from what is normal, what is right, the leadership of the country needs to show leadership. Guy Joseph, at the very least, should have been censured and best be fired as a minister of government. You cannot have a country run by ministers who are so unscrupulous and uncaring and placing the whole reputation of a country at risk. You cannot allow that.
A closer look at the Pajora company reveals one Max Johannes is listed as a director. His brother, Bertrand Johannes, is a United Workers' Party candidate expected to contest the Castries South seat in the upcoming general election. Pajora has never publicly commented on the November letter bearing Minister Joseph's signature.
I can't stay. Mad ass. Hey. Free second day. Boom. I like it. Grow.
Pani street party c'est jou ça là. Pani l'argent encore. Si nous toutes prenons responsabilité et faire ça nous ni pour faire. Bagay la kay marcher et nous toutes kay manger. En nous tirer la peine nous kay danser encore.
Wear a mask, wash your hands and maintain a 6-feet distance. If we keep St. Lucia safe, we can keep our economy running.
Thanks for tuning in to your favorite content creator, UTV. To find out more, follow us on our social media platforms: YouTube UTV124, Facebook UTV124, Instagram UTV124, Twitch UTV124, TikTok UTV_124, and Flow TV channel 124. Remember, UTV, TV for you.
Available at Red Dot in Grosile and Susie's Varieties in Bois de Wange and Vieux-Fort.
I can't stay.
Okay, you look okay. Yo, Mama Flower, just listen, Listen, Mama Flower, listen. Yo, first thing I realized when I come to Sifre, big up Shamika Sunspeed, big up Talstar, Wagon My G, big up Kistaman, Viewfort Nuff Massive in the house. Yo, listen, don't worry about that. Big up all the Emma fans. First thing I realized when I come to Sifre, Monsieur Observer, hey, Emma, big up yourself. First thing I realize when I come to Sufre, Emma take the labor and she pin them in the big yard. She buy them lunch. When they ask her for a strong liquor or a beverage, she tell them check her order. Check her order. Check her order. Hey. Yo, Florida, all the way goes in but Sabafet. I love Sufre. Brad Pitt, big up yourself. Yeah, I say, hey, on a serious note, my friend called me in Sufre, going to the big yard. Let me all a big yard, like, figure going to get a drink. First thing I realized, I say, hey, when I go to the big ICDM, I take the labor to lunch. When they ask her for a strong liquor other beverage, she tell them, check her order. Hey, check her order. Check her order. Check her order. Check her order. Hey, but listen to that. Listen to that. Look, Herod never refuses. She always have the money for both labor and for both. We don't office, we empower Sufra, we love you. That's why Herod developed this Sufra for you. Hey, check her order. Check her order. Check her order. Yeah. Yo. Wait, you do one more time. Alright, somebody asked you for one more time. Monsieur, my girl, big up yourself, big up yourself. Yeah. Big up, Monsieur. Mama Ifraba! Mama Ifraba! Alright, my people, first thing, don't mind the SLP, my people. We must follow the protocol. So if you have a mask and you're not having a jiva, eat something, wear a mask, my people. We are giving them no edge on us. But listen to me, I am an observer. First thing I realize when I come to Sufre, I go to the big yard, I see the Emma bring the labor for lunch. See, a strong liquor or a beverage, she tell them check her order. Here go, check her order. Check her order. Check her order. Hey, check her order. Check her order. Oh, they have more, they have more, they have more. They have more, they have more. Listen to me again, my people. Mama Ifrabo, one thing I love about them, Mama Ifrabo, especially Sufre, both labor and big up my brother Weezy, man. Big up yourself, Weezy. Yeah, big up yourself. Yo, whoa, my brother, there is more. There is more. Listen to me. Monsieur, Mama Ifrabo, listen carefully. Listen carefully. L'année je aime à tout vrai. Votez Herod. Parce qu'il y a un progrès. Allez garder manière sous fouille développée. Ça n'attend tout pas tous les mêmes passés. Nous qu'à voter, voter, voter. Nous qu'à voter Herod. Nous qu'à voter Herod. Nous qu'à voter, voter, voter. Nous qu'à voter Herod. Nous qu'à voter Herod. Alright, one more freestyle. My people, I never read what I'm saying right now. It's just straight from the mind. As I come to Sufre. Hedata, Emma, usa belle femme let moi aimer. Yeah. Usa belle femme let moi aimer. Emma, listen to that. Emma, listen. Emma, pas quitter Herod genou, pas quitter Herod genou. On y a chalet mais Herod ni ti quoi pour juste nous ou pas attendre man. Mama Iflabo. Mama Iflabo.
Now, I won't lie to you. It was supposed to be a longer clip. I just could not take it anymore. Monsieur, I like a good song as much as the next person, but I mean, Al, you don't have no flow, you don't have no rhythm, you don't have your lyric to sell about beverage or whatever. But this is what happened over the weekend. That's in Sufre there, and Al Prince, that's the voting guy with the blue shoes and the yellow outfit. He is going around the country, clearly, and I think they're pushing him forward as the artist for United Workers' Party. I wanted to know, how's that working out for you guys? And objectively, when I look at it, it just seemed forced. The crowd reaction and everything else, the out-of-timing lyrics, and all of that. But I mean, whatever works for you, continue doing what you're doing, Papa, if that's what you want to do. But I think for this segment, I wanted to just let people see what happened over the weekend. We know that people were out there. We've seen the week before the Pan Sunday, and last weekend, well, the Sunday just gone, it was in Castries Central, Pan City, and I think it would be good to let people see what that looked like. So there you have it, what I saw, what I heard, the interviews I had, the people that I spoke with. This is what happened on Sunday.
What about the turnout?
The turnout is unbelievable.
Tell me, why are you out today? Put you can fetch out here. Kukita? South Texas, como ele oferece
Moi je dis moi ambassadeur pas jamais dit moi rien. Mais si tout m'a travail, et que toi pour la pension moi yo refuser bail. Quand on a marché pour la pension moi pas ça. Dernier moto c'est pour Mr. Dak.
Et vous faites Richard qui fait primaire.
Moi c'est mon flight c'est là tellement vite on l'a tiré là.
Et comment même sorti?
Moi ça fait 3 semaines avec également là.
OK.
Oui, now what by Frederick Central Cafe.
OK.
Yes.
So après chasse le ring bell là. Sonne cloche là.
Bell là ici pour des clang il va ici pour des. Ching in your pocket we never get that. Yeah. And I good chasse né. Yeah.
All right, mama.
Yeah. I therefore my party and I therefore project to
We've seen you all around, but we've never heard you speak. Talk to me. Why are you here today?
We are in support of Richard and to change the government.
So you're saying that you want him to ring the bell?
Ring the bell, yes man, it's time. We're ready for elections.
What do you think of the turnout today?
Yeah, that's great man, that's great. That's support from morning till now. Yeah man.
Talk to me, mama. Où belé? Où allez l'église, man? Où sont l'église?
All I want to tell the people of Central Castries, Richard Frederick is a very good man. He has helped a lot of people like me that was in poverty and still is, because nobody is reaching out for people like me. Richard has done a lot for me and I'm gonna be praying. Also to those who forget what he do, just know God is in control. God is in control.
Tell me, mama, talk to me.
Well, I'm in support of Richard, my grandchildren, and I want Chester to go. I'm tired. Cannot take it no more because I'm not doing it only for myself and my grandchildren. Because if Chester could stay there, we'll not have a coffer in the bank to sustain our community. Chester has to go and Chester must go.
Merci. Thank you.
of this country. And he comes to us and he says that he likes us. You know he actually likes us. He likes us because he called us jackasses. So he will use us to attain a position that will plummet him to high office. We cannot permit that to continue. To support Philip J. Pierre. We have been there with Alan Jackson. We have done that with Alan Jackson. We cannot repeat the mistake of 2013. Let us do what we have to do to hand this country into the hands of a man who was born in poverty, who understands it like us, and who will give each and every one of us a fair slice of the cake.
So, like I said, this is what I saw. So that's it. I think for some people, like I've said, we've seen people have to go, they feel they have to go outside the Prime Minister's house. Some people took to the streets to just express their displeasure at the way things are being handled in this country. We are taking your calls now at 572-7588 or via WhatsApp at 484-7588. We could talk about anything at all that you want to, or anything that I've mentioned so far in this show. We have a call. Good morning.
Morning, Tresha.
Good morning.
Tresha, in terms of that Pajora letter, I mean, people are asking for the resignation or the firing of Guy Joseph. But people are doing that, thinking we're living in normal times and that this government is a normal government. Tresha, we're not living in normal times. This government is not a normal government. This government goes way, way beyond anything we've ever seen. Tresha, look, if the Prime Minister has to fire Guy Joseph, he would have to fire people like Sarah Flood. He would have to fire people like Ezekiel Joseph. He would even have to fire himself, because all of those people have been involved in so much stuff, corruption, that firing Guy Joseph would mean that, look, I'm firing Guy Joseph for this clearly corrupt thing that he has gotten into, but I am remaining in government. I mean, that would seem like nonsense, silliness. Tresha, look, Guy Joseph initially denied that he was the author of that Pajora letter. He said that no such letter existed in his ministry, trying to make the point that, you know, although the signature looked like his, but because no such letter existed in his ministry, and because the technology exists where people can use that technology to forge signatures, then that letter wasn't authored by him. Along comes fresh evidence that Guy Joseph actually wrote that letter, actually authored that letter, where he puts the government's name on the line in terms of guaranteeing a loan of US $62 million for Pajora Limited. Pajora Limited is owned by Maximilius Johannes. Maximilian Johannes is brother to Bertrand Johannes, who is the UWP candidate for Castries South in the upcoming elections. Bertrand Johannes is tied to Guy Joseph as his right-hand man, purportedly his right-hand man. Now connect the dots.
You explaining that for Nancy again, man?
Connect the dots. Now, Tresha, the other thing about that is the contract sum for the street lighting and St. Jude Hospital, as per the first letter, is US $62 million. Guy Joseph guarantees that the government, for something that has not gone to Parliament, but he guarantees that the United Workers' Party government will pay that money. Now let us suppose that this guy had received this money from that bank. He gets the contract. He completes the contract. Who gets paid? Isn't it Pajora or Pajors for doing the work? Now, Pajors is supposed to pay back that money, although the government guarantees to repay. But I suppose if Pajors defaults in making payment, suppose Pajors defaults, who is left to pay that money? The people of St. Lucia. I mean, you have all that kind of stuff going on. And yet Alan Chasney says, in response to questions, that won't be the first time that something like this has happened. I mean, can you believe that? And we must accept that. We must sit there, stand there, and take that kind of stuff from Alan Chasney and his cabal, this corrupt government. Tresha, look, we have to continue demanding that this Prime Minister calls the elections so that the people of this country can finally throw these people from off our necks and throw them into oblivion where they belong. Thanks, Tresha.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you. Let's take the other call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, it is a lot happening right now. And Chasney refused to do what he has to do. He is asking for another turn or another chance to finish what he has to do. But in order for him to do that, what he needs to do, you don't know.
What he needs to do?
What he needs to do to get the other chance he is looking for.
Kuye kuma.
But why he's not doing it? He don't want it as desperate as he wants.
Me asking that? I don't know. How is me?
But I'm on weapon way. Because if you're telling me you want a chance again, is he waiting for them to roll over the chance for him?
I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't know.
Because you asking for another chance and he desperately wants another chance. To get another chance, you have to call the election to see if you can get the other chance you're looking for. But if you don't call it, how can you know that you're going to get it?
But he doesn't want to leave anything by chance, and he said that before. He doesn't leave anything by chance. So until I guess he's sure in some ways that, I don't know, whatever he has to put in place, he has to put in place.
But he should be sure by now, because I think in his own judgment, he has did everything perfectly.
And that's
because he has done everything.
And that's what I mean. Like, if you did what you had to do in the past 5 years, all the promises that were made and everything else, put out there, just kuye.
Vote God. Pour capable de prendre l'autre chance. Pour vouloir l'autre chance. Mais tout temps pas courir élection pour taper chance là. C'est courir élection pour taper chance là. Puisque automatiquement il pas roll over pour l'autre chance ba ou.
I don't know. Go in there. You have to apply to be I guess you have to apply to be an advisor. Advise the man properly. Caller, thank you so much.
Yes, take it easy, because
all right. Thank you very much, caller. Let's take the other call. Good morning. Good morning, caller. Wait, Papa. Good morning. Okay, what? All right. Sorry about that, caller. May say they're watching the TV hard day. Like I said, the lines are open 572-7588 and also at 484-7588. Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Tresha. What's up?
I'm good. What's up?
All right. I just want to say something quickly on Nancy's problem in seeing what's wrong with the Pajora letter. Isn't that letter alone of a guarantee a loan of a letter to guarantee that loan?
Yeah.
Right. So how Nancy doesn't see what's wrong with it, but they saw everything wrong with a letter of comfort from when Philip J.P. was the acting prime minister. He actually signed a letter of comfort. It was not a guarantee, it was just a letter of comfort. And Norbert Williams, he had it as a bombshell. But this one isn't a bombshell at all.
That's what you're saying. It's not a bombshell. It's just a letter. It's a reference letter. Yourself, how for your lady, the thing was a reference letter.
And Nancy doesn't see nothing wrong with that.
Nancy can wear your wrong there, yeah. Nancy, Nancy.
No, men Tresha même pas ça comprendre ça. Un grand femme, un grand monde qui a dit moi, il pas rien en lettre ça là. Et lettre ça là tellement dangereux, ou si on pas même finance ou ici en lettre comme ça. Et qu'on a dit moi, Nancy pas rien wrong et puis ça. Moi je veux savoir qui ça non même ni pour dire.
Pour bail qui a bail voler, bail qui pas bon. Nancy pas ouais, Nancy avec.
Non, moi pas raconter non mais demain c'est même. Moi quand il fait mais n'a fait ça pour m'écouter, pour m'entendre explanation ni pour ça. Parce que moi même pas ça comprendre ça. On est tellement dangereux. Ou quand dit mon parent et puis on let un monde just a let of comfort. On y a un gros problème et puis ou dit c'est bombshell.
Like I said, c'est la partie is.
Non. Tresha, celle bagay c'est bouglani pour faire. Vous regardez pour toutes sortes de quartiers bagay. Celle ça yo ni pour faire c'est couiller. Ouvrir un autre thème, couiller plus vite que possible pour nous notre thème là. Nous kay ba oui, couiller. Merci.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. I think we have come to the end of the show, but like I was saying before with Nancy and everything else, you have another call? Oh, okay, let's take that one very quickly. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tresha.
Hi.
I'm calling from St. Lucian's Fed Funeral Home, and I'm calling regarding the funeral arrangements. I just wanted to find out regarding the Pajora letter. Is that the last nail you want in the coffin, or do you need more?
I don't know. Much in work to say drama. I think that's, if it's not, then I don't know what else. What else is needed?
You think we need to put any more? From where I sit, observing the preparation of the body, we don't really need. You have to provide us with a date for the funeral, right?
Yeah.
So all we need, yes, is a date for the funeral, but we have already landed, or the nail is prepped, ready for the coffin. Okay?
All right.
So just give us the date for the funeral, and we shall prepare the body with that last nail. Bam! Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, drama. Listen, I'll keep saying it, that we have to always be prepared to decide on what is right and what is wrong. I say it every day. Maybe you're getting tired of it already, but it is what I believe, and I think there are several others who believe the same thing that I do in that way. So with Nancy and her whatever she just said. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I think we should play a game. Let's just keep our ears and our eyes open for whatever excuse they'll come up with. I want to, know what the hacks are saying, whatever's on Facebook, whatever they've said, whatever the response is to that Pajora letter. I want to hear it. And if you see them talking about it, let me know. My number is 460-3054. I almost want to play a game with that. How far will they go? What will they say? How will they twist it and turn it to make it work? When the blatant corruption is out there, some people pretend that they won't touch it, that they need to, make sure of the veracity. I mean, what more do you need? And Nancy, in saying that, she herself has legitimized that the letters are there. It's just, what's so wrong about it? But we know something's wrong. We know it is very, very wrong. And we have come to the end of the show. I think I've gone over time yet again. I think it's going to get angry, But I want to thank you, as always, and hopefully we see each other again, C. Davley, and we'll continue to have the discussions as we always do, with a lot of honesty, and of course with you guys giving me some advice on the things that I'm still naive about, so thank you about that. Until then, have a good one and take care.
Everybody put up your hands.